Alright, welcome back everyone. This is just a quick run over. Perfect timing. We can see a rocket is going up here. So this is actually the series I've been running for a while now. Uncommented, just building the city. This is the first city I tried to develop a bit. And this is sort of a status of how we have done. The reason for this status update is because at the moment how the game is performing, I am really unable to proceed any further. One example, if we zoom in on a area where there's some traffic. So if you notice the speed the vehicles are moving, we are at game speed 1. If I up that to 3, there's no difference. A little difference, but hardly noticeable. Basically, the game is still running at the same speed, and my suspicion is that my computer is simply not able to perform any more work on this game at the moment. Even though, what you cannot see, I opened my task manager and I'm looking at my CPU. It's running at 80%, memory at 30%, GPU at 80%. So it's not because they're fully utilized. There's just not more going on, I guess, with the hardware. The hard drives, they're not even running. Less 1%, 0%, 1%, 0. So that's fine. It's of course also running on a SSD. When I'm zoomed out like this, my GPU bumps up to 90, 95%. CPU goes down to 70%. And when I zoom in, both goes down to like 70. So if we go into like a very cluttered area, we are at 70 on the CPU, 95 on the GPU. But it still doesn't explain why the game speed is not running any faster. So, my plan is actually to start a new city. On a new map. I was really hoping that by now that we would have gotten some modding tools or some sort of opportunity to create some better maps than those that come with the game. That is not the case. Well, there are of course unofficially modding tools. I'm not going to bother with that. Because to be honest, the maps that came with the game, sure, they're nice, but I really feel they're lacking. It's not the type of maps I enjoy. I can't remember this name for this map, but it's almost filled out, as you can see. There are a few areas I haven't bought into, but I got plenty of purchase options if you want. So we could just keep buying. The city, of course, when you start playing, starts over here, and this is the oldest part of the city with the neighborhood here, the industrial quarter here. A lot of logging camps in this area. That's why we have the brownish color. The first downtown area is this over here. I tried to keep it as original, meaning as the city grows, we do not destroy older areas of the town. Instead, we expand into new areas. So we see we go from these small housing to row housing to medium to high density, of course. And with the motorway running straight to. Of course, I had a lot of challenges, as some of you might have seen with the videos, placing these paths. It's not always that easy to place these. The roads, super easy, and I really love the tools that came with the game. Really impressive, but placing paths for citizens, that's not really ideal. Main infrastructure, I try to keep outside the city or in the outskirts of areas. So you can see over here we have a small industrial area. and we have a cargo train terminal. And we do have routes coming in and out. And we have a traffic issue. And we are running at a 3 speed, but it's not really running at 3 speed, as you can see. And I have no idea why. I could understand if, let's say, we are running the processor and GPU at 100%, but that is not the case, so yeah. Rail yards, I have several rail yards. There's one here, and the first one is actually up here. This is the first one, and you can see it's connected down to the city. I actually got stations. We'll take a look at the transit in a bit. One of the latest things I added was the subway station or subway yard. Also well placed outside the city, but it's connecting all these, let's say, neighborhoods or smaller city areas. We also have a farming area out here I'm trying to develop as a small community. Try to utilize most of the space, and that's why you will see me often when I'm playing. I put in these either logging camps or chicken farms, things like this. Of course, where possible, I will also mine. So you can see here we have rock, but over here we should have something else. Garbage is filling up now. Yeah, that's to be expected. And also I like to pull back the working area of these so I can fill in some industrial between along the road. It seems to be working all right. Same over here, we got this port area. A cargo port coming in and out. It's not the only one, there's also one over there. That's the passenger port, right? And cargo port here as well. Passenger port over here. So I kind of have main infrastructure in each area. I would actually prefer, I did that in City Skylines 1, where I would take a map and build like smaller cities around the map and connect them up with a train or highway, motorway. All areas are connected with motorway, so in theory we have a motorway coming in from the neighboring city going down here, out this way, crossing over, out this way, going back up, out this way, and there's a crossover in the middle and at the top. So it's like a big number 8, basically, the motorway network. Along the motorway, everywhere, just like in real life, I also have something similar to a highway following the motorway. And that is mainly to not only relieve the traffic on both roads, they are supporting each other, but also the highway is mainly for people who need to get off. So we have on and off ramps now and then at different intersections. Not sure what's going on here. So they're complaining about no road access. I'm not sure why you would need car access on a field. That's some of the smaller bugs with the game I hope to see fixed in the future, because clearly there is road access. And if we look, yes, it's there. I found out if you want to fix this, you can just resize the field to small and then put it back out so it rebuilds. But it's tedious and it gets tiresome. Main oil area is over here. We're pumping a lot of oil, the same over here. Main airport. The city, let's say, capital area would be this area. It's hard to see from top, but it's kind of up a hill. And the city hall is right here. We have some tourist attractions, universities, and downtown. And of course we're using trams as well. Up here we have like a separate city from the two down there. So basically, if we look from top, there are 5 cities. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. This one down here was most interesting because trying to not ruin the terrain and just build around what is possible with small roads covering these islands, imagining a swampy area next to a small city, the train yard to maintain passenger traffic, but we also have the passenger train coming in here. Oh, sorry, ship. And the idea is we see passengers coming off the ship. They will, in most cases, go to the train yard, but of course we also have bus services everywhere. Ideally, I would continue with this map and completely fill it up. Hopefully in the future that will be possible, so I'm not deleting the map, I will just keep it saved for a while. And we are making plenty of money, you can see we're making 1 million per hour. Of course, we're also spending a lot of money and we have no loans. My tax I have adjusted a bit depending on the income and raised it for industry. So of course industry just pays more. Office I lowered a bit compared to industry to make it more attractive. Services, super expensive. That's our main cost running the city. But that's also fine. It's super important, all these items here. And our production. I try to keep all production locally, but eventually, especially on this map, you have very limited farming. So as much as possible, I do my own farming with corn and carrots. But of course, as you can see, we need a lot more. So there is a big import. Same with material goods. You can see we're importing a lot of petrochemicals, which is my suspicion really fuel, right? So we are importing a lot of fuel, and you can see down here as well, convenience food. These are productions I would like to have my industry produce locally. Let's take a look at the transit map. That's a feature I would really like to be able to minimize this or just close this while I look at the game view, right? Or just move it down. So as you can see, there's a lot going on. We have quite a number of bus lines. You can see the number of buses as well. This one has 17 buses. That's actually something I should fine-tune, right? We don't need that many buses on a 4-stop line. Depending, of course, I can't remember bus line 9 because I forgot to name it. Most of them I name according to the area they drive in, but the usage is 11%, so it makes no sense to have that many buses. You can take a look. So we can see it goes from here and up to the airport. Okay, so it's from airport to the old center. Right. So let's just reduce that amount. Trains. I have a few of my own. I have my intercity train, which is basically a loop because along the highway and motorway I have a train going around. So I have a train driving this circle. Let's see if we can pull it up. You can see the green line. It might be hard to see. Let me see. It looks okay. So you can see it basically starts here, goes down to this city, leaves the city, comes back, and goes up to that city. So that's not even the right train. Let's try loop 1. There we go. Loop 1 is the blue. It goes on track 3, as you can see. And that one separates here, goes up to this area, goes down to this area, and back over here. And then of course loop 2 would be covering this area up here. Trains are possibly the most efficient thing I have in terms of public transport. For sure the bus lines are working and they're good for a while, but I don't see the same amount of passengers as I do with the trains. The trams, really good. They're all local, so each area have a tram. Subway, very heavily used, especially this one. It's only at 19%, but that's because I have assigned, of course, more trains to it. We also have 16 stops. Subway line 2 is where? So it's right here. Okay, yeah, we can see the blue line. And it goes from here up through here. Here. It's super hard to see, right? Into the in front of the airport, and then over here and back. And ships. Of course, we have public transport, which is passenger ships. And then I have cargo ships right here. So they're moving a lot. You can see 3,000 tons, 100% usage. Should probably assign a ship more on both of these. Trains, cargo, much more efficient than if we look at passenger cargo. It's passenger cargo. Moving people. So cargo, really efficient when we are talking trains and ships. Planes, well, not really worth it. That's mostly my own fault, I guess. The airport is relatively new in this game. And you can see one of them, we have 0 passengers. Should really delete it. It goes outside city, it's an intercity. Cargo by plane, 0 and 0. Should also just delete it. It's just an expense. So the entire international airport, in my case, is not really working out. They have a big storage, but that's a warehouse they have, right? Passengers waiting, 233, not really that much. And here we can see the different interactions we have. There's a lot of planes coming in and out. You can have 2 on the same runway here, 3, the one coming out. This is full speed, by the way. Oh, so my plan now is I'll probably start a new map and work on that until we get the modding tools and the really good developers we have around. They can start working on maps and things like that. I would really like to see well, I don't really need the ocean, but maybe a map with mountains and valleys. Much more than those that came with the game. So I can have like smaller cities around, built around, connect it all up with public transport or highways like this, and set up some proper coverage. It's not a problem making money. You have to remember this map I started the same week the game came out. It's been a while. Today is in December and several patches has been added to the game. I haven't noticed much difference in performance. I already turned down most of my things. As you can see, we are running windowed for recording. A lot of things has been disabled or minimized just to keep the game running at a okay pace. Performance is, of course, at the moment set to balanced. I could set it to frame rate or something like that. Disabled at the moment. VSync is disabled. If I enable this, it basically grinds to a slideshow. So the main problem I have with the game at the moment is the lack of modding support and, of course, performance of the game. It's still good. I really enjoy the game. I'm having a lot of fun. Spend a long time on this, and I'm really looking forward to updates on this. Of course, everything, almost everything. I don't know why I need this. Is unlocked. I am not unlocking things I don't need, as you can see. Why would I unlock this? Even though I have the points, it just seems silly. And if you've been following the City series, then you would have seen me unlocking these as we go. If you have any ideas or comments about the new city, let me know. I would love to hear them. I'm also looking forward for a modding tool that reduces the low residential demand, because that is really annoying. I live in a country in the real life where we have a lot of low residential, and if I go to any of the sales pages where people are selling apartments and houses, it is clear that it's not low density that's in high demand in real life. For sure there is a demand, but it's not this. I'm not sure if they will work on that as a balance or anything for now, but it's definitely something I think that needs to be addressed. Population count, it's 200,000 at the moment. 205 if we want to be specific. And it's slowly increasing. I have a lot of empty areas. Tourist goes up and down. Income is good. Hotels, well, that's really interesting, because I don't have any hotels. It's not like in City Skylines 1 where I could plop in a hotel and just say, oh, here's your hotel. Oh, there's one here we're missing. No hotels available. So I'm not sure what they are thinking when we're talking about hotels. Because it shouldn't be a signature building. That makes no sense. And it also shouldn't be let's say, a unique building like these, like a landmark. It could fall into tourist attraction, right? Or a separate tourist something. But it should be buildings I could just keep placing, because I would need several of these, right? Similar to a police station or a fire station. It's a service. These guys are complaining. What are they complaining about? Looks like air pollution. Yeah. That's a funny one, because if we take a look at the map and see air is coming this way. So these guys are complaining. That means they are getting wind from over here. And the nearest pollution, there's one here, that's an oil field, that makes sense. But these guys are not complaining about air pollution, but these are. So that can only mean this is the area causing pollution. But if we go up here, you can see the wind is changing, going this way and then going this way. And it's farms. So these guys are also complaining, but these are not. That's a bit odd. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think, sure, it's a farm. There will be some air pollution in terms of 2 times per year when if they're using manure as a fertilizer, right? Sure, makes sense. They will complain about that. That's one of the trains coming by. It's an external train. Universities, I'm struggling a bit. So I ended up just putting in both right here of these specialized universities. So I got the technical university and the medical university. Not enough people. Even though I still have people they want to go to the university. If we take a look at the education map, it's pretty well covered. You can see elementary schools, it's on the limit. 35,000 people for elementary school. 2,200 for high school. That's a funny one because I have so many high schools. It's capacity of 4,800. There's something going on. You can see there's plenty. If I delete one, then suddenly it's not enough. If I add the one I just deleted, then it's more than enough. So the only way I can really adjust these to hit like a green in this area is to adjust the money we spend on education. College the same, university the same, and then of course the specialized universities. All the space stuff I have placed right here in the middle, right? So here we have the research Large Hadron Collider. This area cannot be used because the space station, which is right here, launching another rocket, is adding a lot of noise pollution. So I'm like, yeah, it's perfect in between industry and the big airport. Geological Research Center makes sense. It's in an area where we would see mountains or hills. And what do we have here? Observation tower from Finland. Yeah, very nice. Can't see anything that way. Or maybe just, but you can definitely see things this way. And here we have the telescope. Satellite uplink, radio telescope. And that's another thing. So in the beginning, I was not taking care enough about the communication. And if we open the communication, you can see here's the post. I have so many post offices, but still I'm not really up to speed. You can see we have a lot of red areas. And if we click telecom, it's sort of okay. There are some areas, so it's a combination of radio masts, telecom towers, and the server farms. You can see that when we are talking a entire map, sorry, it's only a small area. Over here we have no coverage, so that is actually something we can just do. Let's just plop that right there. Yes, they love being able to use their cellular phones. Oh, suddenly the high school is full. Oh, sorry, elementary school. And the easiest way to adjust this, because there's definitely not 1,500 people living in this area, is to assign the zone. That means they're only servicing this area. But I have chosen not to assign any communities to specific zones. I leave it up to people where they want to go to school. So they can move around, they can use the public transport, I earn some money. I'm happy, they are happy, they can go to school wherever they want. One of the big areas I've been struggling with in terms of traffic and transport is not really these areas that seem like grid with a grid layout, because a grid layout is usually really awful. Of course, in many of these I skip the road now and then to prevent all these intersections, but the place I really struggled was this area. I had so much traffic along the train station. Of course, the bus station is right up here somewhere. And connecting it to this area of the city. I have several connections, of course, several pedestrian connections, but only 3 road connections. So the entire area is actually cut off here by the highway and the train. The train is actually going through here, cutting off this triangle also. But there's like a main road here, one crossing over here, and this one down here. Yet I was struggling. I even tried to move the intersections and roundabouts as far back as possible to give some room. And this is annoying me. I was initially thinking about lowering the train track already from up here somewhere, but then I would have problems with this bridge. And that's another thing I'm missing. I'm missing the move it, because bumps like this, I would really just want to lift this and make this straight. The same with this. Maybe I want a more smooth ramp that's not as steep. We only want to just clear the train here, right? So we could lower this a bit, making the ramp more smooth, going over the train track, or under even, so could combine it, because if we're looking at this way, we're actually going up from the roundabout. If we just went straight, just above the highway, we would actually end up down here somewhere, and we could tunnel under the train and come up here. That would make a much smoother ride for the people. Clearly much more expensive for the city developer like me, where I need to spend a lot of money on tunneling, covering, adding the tracks above. But the situation would be overall better, plus it would leave up this space for me to use for something else than just having a empty open area which I can't use for anything. The train coming in, so we can just follow him up to the city. It's totally on purpose. I have the train and the highway at 2 different levels, because I need the train to cross over here, and this I lowered so they can continue to the city. There's a lot of pedestrians, as you can see. It's completely covered when we are zoomed in. Try to fill out as much as possible. Of course, some areas are barren like this, and this is where I... oh, that's bad. Would like to cover that up somehow. I tried a bit with row housing, but it's just giving me too many problems with the things not fitting. Also, the way these are working, as you can see, a lot of the traffic I have traffic issues was actually pedestrians crossing the roads, causing all traffic. You can see this guy. They're still crossing, even though there's no crossing available. I removed them all. I need a better way of getting from this area to over here or here. In real life, we have, of course, small bridges or tunnels crossing roads, and there we go again. They're crossing even though there's no intersection. So I'm really missing that, and it's super hard to really finically get this changed. You can see this is not even connected here. Let's just disable all of that. Just can't. See, it's a big problem. There we go. That was nice. Good suggestion from the game. That's a feature I really like. But sometimes it just don't want to collaborate, and that really annoys me. Because all of this intersection could be made super small. I really encourage people, not by policies or anything. Let's see, can we find? There we go. What is this? Roadside parking fee. Yes, give me money, but that's the only one I have enabled in most of the city centers. I would really like to just reduce the size of all this pedestrian pathing, so I don't have to do this crazy. In the beginning, I was really trying to just make a small round staircase going up, 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 and over. Of course, it didn't work, so after spending, I think, a long time on this, I gave up and then just like, okay, fine, we'll just add it like this. We need something that works so we can move on. Efficiency 115%. That's impressive. A lot of traffic across here, which is good. So areas like this, on purpose I left them open, because in my thoughts I had the idea, well, maybe add a parking lot here somewhere to let people come and park, and then they can cross over by foot if they need to go shopping or whatever is going on. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the only hotel I found in game. It's super nice. People love it. Efficiency, employees, attractiveness, yeah, nice. However, it still doesn't show up as being used in the statistics. And again, this is also a place where we have like a train station, central train station, right? We have a bus station right here. It's also one of these trains. I need somehow for people to be able to cross the road here. Of course, I can add a crossing. But if I add a crossing here, it's going to cost me a lot of headaches. Because they simply block up traffic. In some cases I've seen, like, I can't really tell how many days, but it's just packed with people in a single small square on both sides of the road, and there's like trucks and traffic and nobody is moving. Again here, from the subway. Fully packed. And they clearly don't care about the lights also. They don't stop and wait, they just walk over. 605 passengers waiting downstairs. It's nice, it's good to see. If we zoom out, see if we can find the traffic overview. I'm looking for a car, right? No car, there's a bus. That's transportation. Oh, here we go, traffic. Worst areas of traffic. Down here. Clearly. All these vehicles are going to the shipyard. It's an easy fix because they are trying to cross here, right? So the easiest fix would actually to be make this road one-way road, and then they would have to go around either this way or this way to get up this way. There we go. What's the problem here? Track not connected. Right. But my trams are only going one way, so that should still be fine. It shouldn't have to be connected. Yeah. That's one of the things we just have to deal with or live with. There we go. So now they will continue around in a circle. Of course, this needs to clear up now. Minor issue. Eventually it will clear. Not sure what's going on. Why it says it's a lot of traffic. There's no traffic here. No traffic at all, except in the morning. Jesus Christ. That helicopter. That's also a problem I had in Skylines 1. I can't find a way to mute it. So this is nice. We can see when there's a lot of traffic. Between 6 and 12. But it's not that bad. 100 vehicles per hour. And I think I have done okay in terms of traffic. Of course, there's been a few situations where it's just been completely loaded up with traffic. And that's again, these new road tools are so nice. We can make the merging lanes or exit lanes like this. I spend a lot of time in real life on highways, and I wouldn't say this is not uncommon. This is actually quite normal to have a queue like this. Why these guys are not moving, that's another question. I would really love to just have a button and click delete to remove the vehicle. So we can see a few cars get out. Oh yeah. Use both lanes maybe. That's my fault. I should. That's another thing. I'm missing. What's the tool called from City Skylines 1, where I can say this lane you only go here, this lane you only go here, and this lane you only go here. That would be super useful now. Not sure why he's flashing. But you can see only 4 vehicles made it out. That means 4 vehicles made it off, and then we add 10. Yes, that will create traffic. Police coverage, or any service. We have health coverage, except around the airport, I guess. Recycling, we have a lot. We are actually exporting, or what would you call it? If we take a look. Where is it? It's water. We are exporting water. We're exporting power. Where did recycling go? Here we go. Wrong button. We are exporting, basically importing garbage also, right? So we are selling garbage, but at the same time, we have these, they're complaining garbage is filling up. And that is most likely because garbage trucks has a challenge getting to this area. So we can see it's close to a city area, but if we really take a look, we can see this is a country road, and it goes all the way down here to like a main road. That's a intersection, which is not good. Let's just do that. And the nearest garbage facility is actually over here. So we have a lot of garbage areas. We have a burner, pickup areas, landfills. It shouldn't be that bad. He can go down the road, cross under the highway, up this way, over. It's not that far. I think somebody is not just doing what they're supposed to do. Same here. Oh, he doesn't have road access anymore. He used to have. I can easily see why. Let's see, right? There we go. Road access. In general, I'm super happy with City Skylines 2. There are these smaller things like that needs to be addressed. I'm pretty sure it will be addressed as we're going. It's still less than a year old, but I'm really looking forward to the updates. I'm also really looking forward to what type of expansions they're planning, because a lot of the things we have from City Skylines 1 is already included or partially included in this. Personally, I would really like to see more like industrial and transport focus, because already now we have a lot of building focus. And when I say building focus, I'm talking about these buildings, which is great. Farming also, like the farming zone that came with in City Skylines 1 with the industrial DLC. Here we already have it, right? We can draw the zones. The only thing I don't like is it's a circle. So when I'm building up these areas, it's really annoying that I'm working with a circle. Right, so we have, you can see when I hover, there's this green circle. That's annoying. How many farms do you see with circle fields? Not many. Usually it's square fields, and I would like to add square fields. Also, when you have a lot of industry, this seems a bit excessive with these. I've seen one of these real life in Germany, and it's so huge, so crazy huge. You wouldn't just have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 10 in this area. One of these in real life would easily be able to cover all of this. The same with oil rigs. Got enough oil rigs? Maybe. For sure, there's a lot of oil rigs. But it's nice. The same with the farms. Why do you have all these small buildings? And why are they not connected? Like these are complaining about, because for sure, if you do the calculations, these are randomly plotted, I'm pretty sure. Randomly rotated, randomly placed. Because sometimes you see placement that's like weird due to a hill. You can see it even modifies the terrain when it's plopped down. It would actually be super simple to have a point. You can see the main farm, we have like a road exit here. You could mark this up on the prefab and say this is the main connection point to all the farming area. And then you could use something like A plus to have like, let's say this building over here, you can see this area needs to be connected to this area. Find a route, so it will just automatically plot a route. And if there's any interference, it would just go around. If the interference also needs route, it would just connect it as it's going to this. And then make like a small path, like the dirt road, but smaller. I'm missing a smaller dirt road. So something like this would actually be fine in here, connecting these things automatically. I don't see that would be a big challenge. And the only time it should update this, if I then select, I do this, boom, now we do a calculation, add the paths. Not really heavy on the process or anything, it's a super simple calculation. That's what I really miss. Also, we should recalculate the amount of buildings. That's a lot. Compared to the amount of land available, that's too many buildings, right? Because there's rules and regulations about how much land per animal is required to have in many countries. And if I just look at this as a satellite image and was like, there's definitely something wrong here. There's a tractor. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Well, he's trying. Alright. I hope you enjoyed the series, even though it was meant just to be like a second month or third month of thing, having some nice background music and just playing the game. My plan for the next would be maybe a combination of talking a bit about what I'm actually doing while I'm doing it, and then just building. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and then I'll see you next time. Bye bye.